At the beginning of the story, we meet Dr. Cha Young-ba, a legendary plastic surgeon in Korea. And I mean legendary. The guy's like the Michelangelo of facelifts. Tons of celebrities have risen to fame after getting surgery from him. Seriously, the man's treated more chins than a buffet line. He's basically treated like a god. And yeah, the guy is loaded. One day, a man walks into his hospital with his daughter, whose face has been severely burned by hot water. At least, that's the story. The girl looks incredibly nervous and scared, and Dr. Youngba, sharp as ever, immediately senses something is off. He realizes, that burn doesn't look like it's from hot water. There's more to the story. So he does what most doctors wouldn't dare. He refuses to operate. Cue angry dad meltdown. The father completely loses it and starts trashing the hospital lobby like he's auditioning for a reality show. He screams, "You're not a doctor, you're just a pimp for the rich." Dang, shots fired. Someone call the burn unit. Oh wait, we're already in one, he continues. You only help celebrities and rich folks. Poor people like us don't matter to you. Enter Dr. Park, Youngba's good friend and fellow physician at the hospital. Calm and composed, he escorts the furious father outside and tries to settle things down. But nope, this guy's not done. He heads straight to the media and tells them the hospital only treats the wealthy, while poor patients get kicked out. Next thing you know, the hospital's client numbers start dropping like Wi-Fi during a storm. A few days later, another girl visits the hospital, wanting surgery from Dr. Youngba himself. He asks what kind of procedure she's interested in. The girl says, "My face is ugly. I want to change everything." Hold up, what? Dr. Youngba and even we as the audience are taken aback. Her lips, perfect nose, snatched eyes. Flawless, she's literally walking K-drama material. So why does she want surgery? Jungba, in his robotic tone, tells her to go home. Take a deep breath, think hard about what she really wants, and come back later. But the moment she reaches the parking lot, things get real. Someone starts following her. Suddenly, the hospital director rushes in, out of breath, and informs Youngba there's an emergency in the hospital parking lot. The girl was attacked, her face brutally injured, and it's now unrecognizable. Yikes. Doctor. Youngba initially refuses to operate. In Korea, only certain certified surgeons can handle this type of emergency trauma. But the director pleads, and seeing the girl's horrific condition, he finally agrees. As he examines her wounds, he realizes her face wasn't just injured, it was repeatedly slashed with glass. Brutal doesn't even begin to cover it. The police arrive. But of course, the area where the attack occurred is conveniently not covered by CCTV, no clues, no help. But they do manage to catch a suspect. A boy. When interrogated, he claims, "She attacked me first. It was mutual. She got hurt during the fight, not my fault. Classic villain excuse, #27. It was mutual. Buddy, you're not in a playground scuffle. You're facing prison." Enter our main lead. Detective Lemin, he pays Dr. Youngba a visit and demands proof that the girl's face was intentionally attacked multiple times. "Give me something, anything," he pleads. But Youngba? Nah, he's not moved. The man's got the emotional range of a vending machine. He lives in his own world, unaffected by emotion, pity, or human connection. Basically, a top-tier surgeon with the personality of a traffic cone. Meanwhile, the angry father returns. Again, screaming and shouting that Dr. Youngba refused to treat his daughter because they're poor. Mr. Park, being the designated adult in this chaos, calls in the secretary and calmly has the man escorted out again, placing him in a car like a bouncer on his day off. By now, Detective Lehman's opinion of Dr. Youngba is in the toilet. The public hates him. And because there's no solid proof of intent behind the girl's injuries, the attacker gets released. Oh, and he's now beating up his own lawyer. Yeah, real smart. Beat the one person trying to keep you out of jail. This guy's brain is running on airplane mode. But Lemin's got sharp eyes. He notices a tracking device in the attacker's phone. Now that's something. 3 days later, the girl is discharged from the hospital. It seems like things are calming down. Until the parking lot scene turns into a sequel. The same attacker shows up again, confronts the girl, forces her into his car, and drives off in a panic. Cue dramatic music. We've got a chase, a mystery, and a stone-cold surgeon who may or may not start acting human. Meanwhile, Lehman is still hanging around. Yep, our resident detective with serious trust issues. He spots the girl being taken away and starts tailing the car, but dang it, traffic blocks him. Classic. The girl, in a panic, jumps out and hops into Dr. Junggu's car. She begs him to follow the attacker, and thankfully, he agrees. Inside the other car, the attacker is getting aggressive and trying to force himself on the girl. Gross. When she speaks up, he gets mad. Like, bro, you're not scary, just emotionally constipated. But the girl, clever as ever, secretly records a video of him. Smart move. She knew he had a short fuse and could go full psycho in seconds. Right on cue, Lehman swoops in like some grumpy superhero and catches the kidnapper, throwing him in jail for assault. Boom. Justice, baby. Later that evening, somewhere else in the city, we witness something dark. A man jumps off a building. And guess what? It's the same angry dad from earlier. Yeah, him. He's gone. Dead. Tragic, but also complicated. Lehman recognizes the man immediately. This was the guy who stormed the hospital and caused a major scene. Now remember all these people? Seriously, because none of this is random, every crazy twist is connected like some jacked up jigsaw puzzle. In the dead man's pocket, there's a suicide note. And guess who he blames? Junggu. Yep. He wrote that the doctor threw him and his daughter out, insulted them, and treated them like garbage. But here's the real kicker. His daughter? Zero reaction. Not even a single tear. Like, girl, you just lost your dad, not your Wi-Fi. In fact, she seems kind of relieved. Suspiciously happy, even. During police investigation, no fingerprints are found on the balcony, no signs of a struggle, no blood. So it's likely he jumped on his own. But things get stranger. In the house, every calendar date is marked with the location of a plastic surgery hospital. And next to that, polished shoes, dry clean suits. Clearly, the dad was taking his daughter to hospitals every day, trying to fix what he broke. Honestly, the man was toxic and tragic, like a walking sad soap opera. Looking at all the clues, it's obvious he had finally booked her an appointment for surgery. So why did he die? Everything seemed to be going okay. But instead of answers, all the blame falls on Dr. Junggu. Ugh. The media jumps on it like flies on a donut. The hospital's reputation tanks overnight. Patients stop coming, bills pile up. It's a total disaster. And Junggu? Well, now he's less like a celebrity surgeon and more like the world's most hated Botox bandit. Then, that same daughter makes a statement to the police and the autopsy report comes in. The man died due to broken bones, organ damage, and turns out he also had lung cancer. Plot twist, she explains. Her mom left them years ago, and her father used to beat her every night after drinking. One night, in a drunken rage, he poured hot water on her, burning her face. Later, feeling guilty, he tried to fix it by taking her to hospitals. She doesn't want to drag the case any further. No lawsuits, no drama. Close the case, she says. She clearly had no emotional bond left with her father. Meanwhile, Junggu's lawyer gives him a serious pep talk. Stay away from the media and the people, just lay low, man. If you need anything, call me, but seriously, stop showing your face. Junggu's once glamorous hospital is now in ruins. It's like watching a luxury yacht turn into a leaky fishing boat. So, in a desperate attempt to revive its reputation and maybe his shattered ego, the hospital director announces something bold. Free surgeries for girls. And just like that, hope sparks again. The news spreads like wildfire, and a wave of happiness rolls through the city. The girls? Ecstatic. Moral of the story. Sometimes, even a plastic surgeon needs a facelift. Of his reputation, that same afternoon, the police get word bam. A girl's been assaulted in the restroom. Lemon dashes over to the scene like he's in a crime drama with 3 seconds left on the clock. When he arrives, he sees a suspect already caught, beaten to a pulp. The victim? She's calmly sitting with her boyfriend like nothing happened. Oh, and guess what? Both of them look completely fine, like they just walked off a brunch date. The boyfriend says, "So, I came to the cafe with my girlfriend to play a game, right? And there was this janitor dude standing at a distance, totally staring at my girl's legs, like, ugh, super creepy. He claims he tried to ignore it, but then the girlfriend went to the restroom and the guy followed her." Uh-oh. The boyfriend continues, "I got this weird gut feeling like he was gonna do something shady." So he goes after them, and surprise. The girl's screaming, holding a dagger like she's in an action movie, and slashes the poor cleaner's face. Blood everywhere. Absolute chaos. The suspect is rushed to the hospital, face torn up. Meanwhile, Junggu is flipping out. The guy is panicking, crying, "Will my face be ruined forever? Will I still be cute?" Bruh, you got slashed, not disqualified from a beauty pageant. Calm down, he keeps trying to hide his chest. All sketchy-like. Junggu notices it too. His chest seems oddly raised, but Junggu, being the brooding mystery guy he is, doesn't say a word. Personal stuff, I guess. Limin, meanwhile, takes statements from the boyfriend and girlfriend and lets them go. But just as they leave, his detective senses tingle. He notices blood on the boyfriend's shoe. Wait a sec. If the assault had already happened, why is his shoe bleeding? Plot twist. Limin sniffs a lie like a hound on a scent. He goes to the hospital, and that's where Junggu drops a bomb. The suspect who was admitted? Yeah, he had breast surgery 3 months ago. Turns out he's a transgender man trying to transition into a woman. Because the surgery wasn't done properly, an infection spread and they had to remove the breast implant. So this creepy janitor was actually someone transitioning. And if that's the case, they weren't stalking the girl. They probably just wanted to use the damn bathroom in peace. Plot twist of the year, the pervy cleaner wasn't even a perv. He just had bad timing and worse luck. Honestly, the poor guy couldn't catch a break if it was falling out of the sky. A few days later, the suspect is released from the hospital, but Jung-gu, who's still quietly playing Sherlock Holmes, points out that the injury on the suspect's face goes from top to bottom, which means the attacker must have been taller. If the girl had done it, the slash would have gone bottom to top. Case cracked? Lemon confronts the boyfriend. Where'd the blood on your shoe come from, huh? Explain that. And finally, the truth spills out like soda at a sleepover. Turns out the couple had gone to a game parlor earlier that day. The boyfriend spilled his drink. Clumsy much, and the person who came to clean up wasn't a cleaner at all, but the manager. And get this. The manager was biologically female, but identifying as a man. The boyfriend was already pissed because his in-game character had just died. Dude rage quit a video game and decided to rage IRL. Someone take his controller away. Then, when his girlfriend went to the restroom, the manager stepped outside to wait their turn. And this rage-filled boyfriend straight up stormed in and started beating the manager senseless. Yikes, Lemon wasted no time. He filed a case and threw both the boyfriend and girlfriend in jail the next day. Justice served. Boom. But just when you think it's over, Lemon gets a phone call. A neighbor of the father who died earlier, remember him? Has something to say. She lives in the apartment next door and claims she saw someone sneaking into the building that night. Dressed in black, wearing a mask, even had his shoes covered, real ninja vibes. She saw him leave but couldn't catch his face. And now Lemon realizes the father didn't jump. It wasn't a suicide. Someone came that night, pushed him off the balcony, and vanished. Murder, plain and simple. And now, the danger? It's coming for Jung-gu next. Brace yourselves, folks. This mystery just got darker than a Game of Thrones wedding. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, a masked man is chasing Jung-gu. Yeah, like straight out of a low-budget thriller. But wait, what did Jung-gu ever do wrong? The guy's a decent doctor. He literally just returned to his apartment to live his normal, boring life, and bam. Trouble comes knocking. The masked dude was about to cause a serious accident. But thankfully, ta-da. Lemon shows up just in time like some kind of action movie heroine and saves Jung-gu. Ooh. Turns out she's been onto something fishy and has been keeping an eye on him. Smart move. They soon find out from the license plate that the car the masked man was driving is surprise. Stolen, because of course it is. Fast forward to the next day. We're now at a fancy modeling agency, and oh boy, it's drama central. A contest is underway featuring Korea's most stunning girls. We're talking cheekbones that could slice cheese. Enter Hyein, she's the director's favorite. But not just because she's beautiful. Oh no, it's not that wholesome. Word is, she's extra close to the director. So close, in fact, that other girls in the agency are straight up jealous. Some whisper that Hyein was kicked out of another agency for getting ahead in the most, horizontal way. Yeah, she wasn't climbing the ladder. She was skipping steps with a mattress. So, after the shoot, Hyein is heading out when suddenly, a woman storms in and throws acid on her. Chaos erupts, Hyein screams in agony, and medics rush her to the hospital. Police quickly nab the attacker, who turns out to be a maid recently fired from her job. But here's where it gets wild. The woman tells police, "I was just peacefully strolling through the park. The weather was great, the sun was shining, there were people all around." Like she's describing a scene from The Sound of Music. Then she goes, "I don't even know why I'm at the police station." Ma'am, maybe because you just threw acid on someone? Girl, what? Meanwhile, CCTV footage says otherwise. It clearly shows her staring at Hyein for a solid 30 minutes before the attack. But now she's sitting at the station with full-on memory loss like this is a bad soap opera. Half of Hyein's once gorgeous face is completely ruined. She's crying, looking at her old modeling photo, wondering how she'll ever become a heroine again. Why her? Why now? Even worse, the attacker doesn't even remember why she did it. Hyein is rushed to Ju's hospital. And guess what? Turns out she's already had cheek surgery before, because of course she has. And now due to the acid injury, the bone in her cheek will have to be removed. Yup. Her face is going to be even more damaged and she'll be left with a permanent scar. In tears, she asks Jung-gu, "What will happen to me?" And Jung-gu, being painfully honest, goes, "Don't cry. Your tears could spread infection. Wow, doc, maybe read the room before dropping a medical bomb like that." Hyein, terrified and desperate, begs to leave the hospital. She wants to participate in the competition. She wants her life back. But Jung-gu isn't having it. We haven't even decided when to discharge you, he says firmly. Then he announces something dramatic. Hyen will be their last free patient. After this, no more charity cases. From now on, people are paying up. Meanwhile, Lemon is doing her best to figure out the acid attack situation, but she's coming up short. There's still no solid proof that it was intentional. The maid keeps repeating the same line like a broken record. I forgot what I did, girl. You're not on vacation. You're in police custody. At least act like you know why you're there. Finally, under a little pressure, the maid cracks. She admits she had been staring at Hyen because, get this, she thought Hyen was having an affair with her husband. Hyen flat out denies it. I don't even know your man, she says. So, Lemon asks the husband directly. And guess what? He is having an affair, but not with Hyen, plot twist. He's been sneaking around with another woman who's sitting right there at the police station. Talk about awkward. Turns out the maid caught her husband with his actual mistress, but in a moment of rage, mistook her for Hyen and decided to go. Full villain mode. Congratulations, ma'am. You just ruined a model's face and your own life. Because you need glasses. After Hyen's surgery, things take a turn for the worse. Yikes. Her own boyfriend starts yelling at her, even hitting her, like he just walked out of a trashy soap opera. Despite being a model, you couldn't even save your face. What good are you now? What are you going to do with your life? Wow, buddy. Maybe if toxic masculinity were a job, you'd be CEO by now. And just like Bad News Loves Company, rumors about Hyen's so-called affairs start spreading like wildfire. People say she slept her way to the top, and even her charming prince of a boyfriend, note the sarcasm, starts questioning her character. Nice guy, huh? Hyen's had enough, furious. She throws the jerk out, dumps him right on the spot, and lights up a cigarette like she's starring in her own rebel movie. When Jang-gu tries to stop her, she goes full chaos mode and starts hurling stuff across the room. Girl's got an arm like an MLB pitcher when she's angry. Someone call the Yankees. Lemon pulls Jang-gu aside and says, Can't you talk to victims like a human? You're always so cold. But Jang-gu stands his ground, ice cold as ever. My job is to treat them, not babysit their emotions. Okay, robot doc. Maybe don't put that on your resume. That's when Dr. Park, Yang-gu's buddy, spills some tea to Lemon. Turns out Jang-gu used to be a general surgeon before switching to plastic surgery. Why the shift? Oh boy, he had a girlfriend who died in a car crash. He couldn't save her. And later found out she'd been murdered at home. Since then, he's been more emotionally locked up than a vault at Fort Knox. Meanwhile, due to lack of evidence, classic, the woman who attacked Hyen with acid is released. But Lemon? She's got that detective fire in her eyes. She shows the woman a photo of a completely different acid victim and says, Look, this is Hyen. Why did you do this to her? The woman stares in confusion, eyes wide. She doesn't even recognize the person. In fact, she thinks the girl in the photo is Hyen. Ma'am, if you're gonna commit a crime, maybe at least attack the right person? Basic villain etiquette, anyway. After leaving the station, the woman sneaks into Hyen's hospital at night. Super subtle, totally not creepy, and takes 5 or 6 photos of Hyen's face like she's collecting stamps. But guess what? Lemon's already got her team tailing her. Boom, caught in 4K. The woman hops in a taxi and heads straight to a rich lady's house. Plot twist incoming? Meanwhile, poor Hyen is spiraling. She's crushed. Her beauty was her everything. And now it's gone, she heads to the rooftop, standing on the edge, ready to end it all. Suddenly, a flashback hits her. 1 year ago, she was just a small-time model. She'd caught the chairman of her company doing unspeakable things to another girl, filmed it, and made it public. The guy got torched in the media. Now, standing on that roof, she's ready to jump when, bam, Jong-soo shows up right on time and pulls her back. Death isn't the answer to this, he tells her. Thank you, Jong-soo, for not being an emotionally unavailable jerk like everyone else in this story. Back to the acid-throwing mystery. The woman finally reaches the rich lady's house. And guess what? She wasn't some random psycho. She was paid to do the attack. Yes, the rich woman offered a big fat stack of cash. Now the so-called maid is pulling a switcheroo. She throws hot coffee on the lady, karma, baby, and starts threatening her. I've got it all recorded, pay up or I'll expose you. From acid attacks to blackmail, this woman really woke up and chose every kind of crime. Cornered and sweating bullets, the rich lady coughs up more hush money. The maid pockets it like a seasoned scammer and hops in a taxi. But Lemon, being the badass she is, tracks the taxi via the dash cam. And what do they uncover? That rich lady? She's the wife of a modeling agency owner. Yep. That chairman, the same perv Hyen exposed a year ago, and the maid? She used to work in their house. Unfortunately, there's still no solid proof to pin it on them. Yet, then Lemon discovers something else. A man's been visiting Hyan regularly in the hospital? Suspicious? Maybe. But here's the twist. His daughter and Hyan used to be best friends. They worked together at the same agency a year ago, and that girl who appeared in the video with the chairman, the one he was trying to force himself on, that was none other than Hyan's best friend. Whew, this drama's got more twists than a pretzel factory. So, the chairman of that company? Yeah, he's currently rotting in jail thanks to Hyan. She got him arrested by exposing a video. The dude was being a total creep, doing shady stuff with the new girls joining the modeling agency. Ugh, what a walking red flag in a suit. Now, get this. It's totally possible this guy, from jail, ordered an attack. Yeah, like some kind of low-budget crime boss trying to play God behind bars? And the girl who died? That was Hyan's friend. People started pointing fingers at the chairman, suspecting he had her killed. Yikes, Lemon had a chat with Hyan about it. Hyan revealed that her friend had actually committed suicide because of a fake rumor that she was having an affair with the chairman. Seriously, gossip killed someone. Humanity, we need a reboot. Anyway, Lemon arrested this one woman again. She was like, "Ma'am, why were you outside? You were told to stay home. Why were you shopping like it was Black Friday?" And this time, the woman spilled the beans, said she threw acid on Hyan under orders from none other than the chairman's wife. So they dragged the wife in and boom, plot twist. Turns out the chairman had been sending letters from jail, calling all the shots like he's some twisted mastermind. He was behind everything. The acid attack on Hyan and even the death of Hyan's friend. Bro, jail's supposed to restrict communication, not give you time to plot like a Bond villain. But oh no, the rich wife plays innocent. She's like, Hyan was the one in the wrong. She recorded my husband and made the video go viral. She deserved everything. Ma'am, the only thing you deserve is a reality check and maybe a hobby. Try knitting. Less illegal. So yeah, the case closes. But not just with Hyan hurt. Her whole future is basically destroyed. The guy Kim, who used to lure girls with fake modeling promises. Turns out he was running a scam bigger than his ego. And now he messed up Hyan's life too. In her anger, Hyan grabs a pair of scissors. Yep, full on, I'm gonna stab someone energy, and storms out, ready to go all action hero on the chairman. But Jungwoo stops her like, "Girl, don't do it. You'll ruin your future. Chill, focus on healing." Wise words. He reminds her she's got a skin transplant coming up soon. Be in a good mood, he says, like she just needs a spa day, not plastic surgery after an acid attack. But okay, points for trying. Eventually, Hyan gets her skin transplant. She gets a new face. Kind of. It's still burned, but it's something. And she reaches the final round of modeling. She knows she'll never look the same again. But she powers through. She's like, I'm a victim. I'll live with what I've got, and I'll still be good. She drops some serious wisdom for a whole hour. But bruh, this is Korea, where apparently, if you're not beautiful, even your parents might disown you. What in the dystopian soap opera is going on? She's still just a student, yet people drag her, insult her, and treat her like trash. Like, come on. Jungwoo's watching all this, quietly heartbroken, and just when she's going home, bam, the masked man attacks her again. For real? This girl can't catch a break, but this time she starts running, and Lemon spots the chase. She jumps into action too. They both run, and eventually the masked man grabs Lyman, and, plot twist of the century, it turns out the masked man is Lemon's own brother, Lee Jin. Yeah, what a lovely little family reunion. Next time, try brunch, Lemon explains everything. On his first day of the job, she got a murder case that happened 7 years ago. And the killer? Her own brother, Lee Jin. The victim? Dr. Jungwoo's wife? Yep, the same Jungwoo who's been low-key traumatized since forever. Lee Jin had been screaming for years that he didn't do it, but his fingerprints were at the scene. The evidence landed him in jail, and now he's out seeking revenge on Jungwoo. He claims, that guy ruined my life. Bro, maybe the murder did that. Lemon tries to stop him and starts arresting him, but Lee Jin runs off. Jungwoo comes in and is like, what just happened? Did you see the stalker's face? But Lemon doesn't say anything. Too ashamed, I mean. How do you tell someone your psycho brother just tried to attack their burn survivor friend? Yeah, not exactly dinner table conversation. The next day, another bizarre case comes to light. A 19 or 20-year-old boy is found lying in a house, badly injured. Like, ouch levels of injured. And apparently, a delivery guy is the one who did this to him. As the investigation kicks off, we're introduced to the boy's cousin. She says, I had ordered food. When the delivery guy came and rang the bell, I opened the door, and boom, he suddenly tried to barge in and force himself on me. Just then, her cousin stepped in between, trying to save her, and the delivery guy smashed him into the wall like some WWE wrestler on caffeine. There was a glass nearby, and the cousin's face was completely visible in its reflection. When they confront the delivery guy, he's like, "This is all a lie. I just came to deliver food." The guy was already lying there like that. "I'm poor, so they're framing me." He screams his innocence to the heavens, but all the evidence seems to disagree. Bro acted like he's starring in a crime drama, forgetting the cameras aren't rolling. Meanwhile, the injured boy is rushed to the hospital. During treatment, he's all confused, saying he doesn't remember anything about what happened. Convenient, huh? Later, the cousin girl meets the boy and magically remembers everything clearly. She tells the police again. The delivery guy came, tried to assault her, and beat up her cousin. She's clearly shaken. Jangu, the doctor, postpones the boy's surgery to the next day. But the girl insists, "Do it now, please. Surgery has to happen now." Sis is pushing for surgery like it's a fast food order. Calm down. The next day, the live-in victim shows up to question the boy. His hand also looks beat up, as if someone's been assaulting him on repeat. Suspicious, right? The boy keeps saying, "I don't remember anything." At this point, amnesia seems to be contagious. Lehman steps out and the cousin girl anxiously asks, "Where's the delivery man? Is he gonna come back to our house?" Lehman reassures her, No, don't worry. He's in jail now." Later, she meets Jang-gu, who hands her a glass shard and says, "This was found in the boy's chin." Like, literally in his face. That means he was already down when someone still attacked him with a piece of glass. But wait, didn't the cousin say he hit the wall and that's where the glass came from? Something's fishy. Meanwhile, class is out for a break. Finally. And the injured boy comes back asking about his surgery again. Now Lyman's spidey senses start tingling. She begins suspecting the cousins. So she tells her colleagues to investigate their relationship and sends the glass to forensics. One colleague tracks down the boy's father, who says, "My son studies at a boarding center. Phones are mandatory to check in." Honestly, I haven't even talked to him in ages, and none of our relatives live in Seoul. So how is he living with his cousin? Also, their son takes online classes for better study focus. Meanwhile, Jang-gu observes both the so-called cousins and notices, yep, something is off. They look less like family and more like a budget Netflix romance. A hospital patient admitted in the same place recognizes both of them. Ho! Jang-gu rushes to find the cousin, but the duo already bolted. Suspicious much? Jang-gu finally gets a chance to question the injured boy, and guess what? Plot twist incoming. The boy spills the tea. "He's from my school, they're not cousins. The girl is our teacher." Oh snap. Yep. Turns out this wasn't family bonding. It was a full-on scandal. A romantic and totally inappropriate relationship between a teacher and a student. They were secretly meeting up and having a strong affair. But the gossip didn't stay quiet for long. It spread around school like wildfire. And then, tragically, a boy who tried to expose them either got silenced or was overwhelmed by shame and jumped from the roof, ending his own life. Moral of the story? If you're faking being cousins while living in a hospital and hiding a forbidden affair, maybe don't order delivery food in your real name. Also, if you're a teacher, stop dating your students. You're not starring in a K-drama, you're just creepy. The next day, Young-gu would have realized, finally, that something serious was going on. Someone had to have killed the boy. No way he just slipped and fell on his own. Nope, someone did it. But instead of diving into Sherlock Holmes mode, Jang-gu heads to her cousin's house. Well, cousin, let's be real. They're not cousins. Cousins don't cuddle like that unless we're in a weird soap opera from the wrong side of the internet. They're a couple, and we all know it. Now, the girl starts spilling the tea. She says, "I gave false testimony. I had a sexual relationship with an 18-year-old boy." Whew. Things just escalated faster than a TikTok trend. But then she goes, "The boy got mad and started ghosting me. Worse, he had a private video of mine that he was using to blackmail me. He was threatening me." So naturally, she says she tried to grab his laptop, tried to talk him down, but in the heat of the moment, they got into a tussle and he fell into a mirror, got injured, and the delivery guy? Oh, he just happened to walk in right then. And boom, she blamed the whole mess on him. Girl, what is this? A soap opera or a badly written crime thriller? Because blaming the poor delivery dude for your romantic WWE session gone wrong is wild. She says, "Otherwise, my government job exam would have been canceled." Yes, because nothing screams future civil servant like manslaughter and manipulation. Bravo, she continues, saying girls like her do this to protect themselves because technically, an injury during a scuffle isn't a crime. And since the boy wasn't home, she told everything to Lamine. She adds, "Otherwise, I'm super scared of him. He beats me too." Lamine, being the only one with 2 working brain cells left, says, We should go to the police station. And what does she do? She gets mad. Why should I go to the police station with you? She snaps, Girl, what do you mean, why? Because you're literally acting like a Netflix villain. That's why. Right then, the boy shows up from behind and bam. He punches Lemon and knocks him out cold. Smooth move, champ. Real alpha energy there. Too bad it's wasted on crime instead of an actual gym, both of them. Grade A jerks. Then the girl, as if this is some Quentin Tarantino audition, walks into the kitchen, grabs a knife, and tells the boy, Take this knife and kill him right in front of me, chop him up. What in the Dexter fanfiction is going on here? But wait, ding dong. The doorbell rings, Jang-woo bursts in, yelling. He'd just found out from the police station that Lemon had gone to cousin girl's house. The boy is crying now, legit scared. He's just about to pick up the knife and do something terrible when, bam! Lemon gets up like some kind of action movie hero and grabs him. Jang-woo kicks the door open and rushes in. The girl immediately switches to drama queen mode, screaming, Save me! Save me! He's trying to kill me! Oh wow, Oscar-winning performance. Somebody give this girl a golden trophy. Preferably one she can't stab anyone with. She hides behind Jang-woo like she's the victim here. Meanwhile, the boy starts yelling and bolts out of the house. Poor guy. But hold up, Lemon's not just muscle, he's smart. He had the whole thing recorded on his phone, boom. Truth bomb. Turns out this girl first started a relationship with a much younger boy, then started blackmailing him, hitting him, and even threatened him with the police. Classy, you wanna know why? Oh, you will. During one of their fights, the boy got hurt, fell into glass, and got wounded. Later, when he collapsed, more glass fell on him, the glass Jang-woo had found. That scared her. So what did she do? Wait for help? Call an ambulance? Nah. The delivery guy showed up and she blamed him for everything. Because apparently, ruin a man's life was on her to-do list. The truth? The boy met her at a tutoring center. That's where it all started. Things escalated. And the two started dating. Rumors spread. And to keep it all hush-hush, they started killing students who found out, yeah, you heard that right, actual murder, and this girl? Oh boy, she was next level evil. She kept the boy locked up like some psycho ex. Wouldn't let him study or even go outside. She'd blackmail him, saying, You killed those students. If you don't do what I say, I'll go to the police. So the poor dude stayed with her out of fear. Truth is, she wanted to keep him as her own personal pet. A literal human dog girl. Ever heard of therapy? But now the truth's out. The delivery guy is finally free and furious. He turns to Lemon and says, I told you I didn't do anything, but you didn't believe me. Yep, moral of the story? Don't trust shady cousins, always record crazy stuff, and for heaven's sake, don't fall in love at tutoring centers. Now, hearing all this, Lemon suddenly remembers her brother. Listen, he used to say the same thing. I didn't do anything. Yet he still ended up in jail for 7 years. Wait, could it be true? Was he actually innocent all along? This thought hits her hard. So she decides to get his current address from her mother and do a little detective work of her own. She checks the CCTV footage from the house of the man who fell from the roof at the beginning of the story. Boom, there it is. On that very day, a man dressed in all black had shown up at the house. Uh-oh. All suspicion now falls directly on her brother, Lizen. Great, just when things couldn't get messier, she heads to his old address to confront him, but surprise, surprise, he's not there anymore. Apparently, the man moves like a ghost. She ends up going out to eat again that night. And wouldn't you know it? She runs into Jang-woo. They start talking, awkward vibes and all. Jang-woo, ever the suspicious one, asks, Who's the stalker? Lemon's like, No, it's nothing like that. But Jang-woo presses on. Then why do you want to find him? And here comes the bombshell. He killed my fiancé, Jang-woo says, his eyes filled with rage. I just want to know why. Why'd he kill my fiancé? Why did he kill that man who jumped from the roof at the start? That's 2 murders. 2, and he's pinning them on me. Why is he doing this? Lemon tries to calm him down. You haven't done anything. Don't be scared, she says, trying to protect the truth, because deep down she knows the man Jang-woo's hunting is her own brother, and she's keeping it a secret, yeah. Nothing like hiding a serial killer in the family tree. It's not Thanksgiving unless someone's got a murder rap, right? Later that night, someone vandalizes Jang-woo's car, because apparently the drama gods weren't done yet. Then the lawyer calls. Lizen has been released from jail. He says, and yes, he's coming for revenge. Oh, and by the way, his sister's a cop. Oh, lovely. We've got a family revenge saga, a murder mystery, and a cop with sibling loyalty issues. Somebody greenlight this for Netflix already. Meanwhile, Lemon goes to meet the daughter of the man who died in the beginning, the one whose face was burned. At her house, Lemon finds a badge. not just any badge. It belongs to a volunteer doctor who used to treat inmates in prison. Click. The pieces start falling into place. Lemon realizes, maybe my brother and that man's father were in the same prison at some point. The plot thickens like bad cafeteria pudding. She finally gets her brother's current address, and when she goes there, guess who's already at the door? Yep, Jenggu, of course, because why would anything be easy in this story? But Lizen isn't home. So Limin and Jenggu both head back, still chasing shadows. Later, Limin has forensics run on that badge. And shocker, there are no fingerprints on it. Suspicious, huh? So she visits the head of the medical association, the one responsible for sending doctors to treat prisoners. During the interrogation, she shows a photo of Jonggu to the doctors and asks, did he ever volunteer in the jail? The head stares at the photo and suddenly gets nervous, sweating bullets. That's when we, and Limin, finally realize this woman was helping Jonggu. Limin jumps up and runs away in panic. Girl, you should have worn sneakers for all this sprinting. Later that night, Jonggu sneaks into Lizen's room looking for answers. He's desperate now. Why is he doing this? Why did he kill? Why frame me? He wonders, looking around. And then he sees it. Photos. Everywhere. On the wall, including one of Limin Boom. Jonggu realizes Limin and Lizen are siblings. Congratulations, Sherlock. The family resemblance finally clicked. Then, Limin gets a call from a girl who lives next to the father's old apartment. She sounds scared. The man in the cover shoes I saw that night, he's back. She says, what? Again. This man has the stealth of Batman and the morals of a raccoon in a dumpster. That same night, the attacker strikes again. First, he killed the girl's father. Now he's come back and injured the girl herself. But this time, she's ready. She records the whole thing. MVP move right there. Someone get her a phone upgrade and a trophy. The attacker runs off, but not before leaving the girl badly injured. Jonggu rushes her to the hospital, telling Limin, catch your brother fast, before he kills anyone else. He will do it. The girl confirms it. He's the same man who ran away after killing my father. Limin, holding back her emotions, says, you did good. You're a brave girl. The girl is being treated, but there's a deep cut on her wrist that the hospital can't handle. She'll need to be transferred outside. As the doctors fumble for solutions, Jonggu starts suggesting ideas, because apparently he's a murder suspect and an armchair surgeon. Limin, meanwhile, notices a camera in the apartment's gallery. Aha, another clue. At this point, the only thing missing is Scooby-Doo and a dramatic unmasking. It was probably Mask Man. Yep, her brother, who planted that camera. Suspicious much? Limin immediately orders her officer to get it checked out. Meanwhile, the team also figures out Mask Man's location and rushes over there. But surprise, surprise, he's already gone. Seriously, this dude slips away more often than my Wi-Fi during a Zoom call. Limin is spiraling. She's anxious, confused, heartbroken. Why is my brother doing all this? What could possibly drive him to such darkness? Then, the girl who was attacked. She finally wakes up. Poor thing looks like she's been through a horror movie and a car crash back to back. She's absolutely terrified, and worst of all, she's lost her memory. Limin gently promises her, we'll catch the killer soon. You're safe now. Nothing will happen to you. Ah, cue the violin music. Later, a police meeting is held, and bombshell, the force officially discovers that Mask Man is none other than Limin's brother. Plot twist? More like a plot uppercut. To keep the investigation fair, the senior officer removes Limin from the case. You can't be involved anymore. You have a conflict of interest. He's your brother. Ouch. Professional and personal lives colliding like two angry rams. Meanwhile, cut to a Korean heroine with more implants than a plastic mannequin factory. Seriously, she's had so much surgery that she can't even walk straight. She begs Jonggu to help fix the implants. At least enough so she can walk properly again. Jonggu, cool-headed as ever, tells her to take some time to think it through. Take your time, but let me know your final decision. While she's busy trying not to collapse like a wobbly Jenga tower, Jonggu keeps lurking around Lejen's place like a one-man FBI task force. He's convinced that one day, one glorious day, he'll catch him red-handed. But Lejen? Oh, he's out there living his broke villain life. These days, Lejen is doing odd jobs to get by. His latest gig? Helping a shady casino owner. When gamblers start winning too much, Lejen shows up and bam! Flips the table, messes everything up, and the game gets canceled. Basically, he's the casino's personal oops button. And sure, he gets beat up by the clients afterward, but the casino pays him well. So he's into it. Ah yes, the dream job. Get paid to cheat and then get punched. He's been saving money and finally hires a lawyer to reopen his old case. I'm not a killer. I didn't kill Jenggu's fiancé, he pleads. And this lawyer? Oh boy, it's Jenggu's lawyer. Awkward, right? The lawyer spills everything to Junggu. Hey, guess what? Lijin wants a retrial. Says he didn't kill your fiancé. Oh, and that same over-surgeried heroine? She's been nagging the lawyer like she's his mother-in-law. Do the surgery. Do the surgery. She whines until he finally gives in, operates, and then just dips. Honestly, she's like a walking Yelp review with legs, bad ones. Now the lawyer tells Junggu that Lejin says he didn't kill his fiancée, that someone else did. And not only that, but he remembers the killer's face. Junggu rushes to the police station, heart pounding with rage and hope. But suddenly, the heroine starts gasping for breath. Classic drama timing, right after her medical emergency, the police track down Lejin again. They run to arrest him, but Lejin takes off like he's in Fast Furious. Soul drift. Junggu chases him and finally catches him. Lejin, out of breath and terrified, pleads again. I didn't kill your fiancée. When I entered the room, she was already dead. Someone else had killed her. Janggu, fists clenched and emotions overflowing, starts beating Lejin. In his mind, he's flashing back to that day, crying next to his fiancée's body, broken and confused. Then, finally, the police arrive. Lejin is caught again and taken in for another interrogation. And this time, he tells the truth. He admits it. He and his friend were doing drugs in the same apartment building. Then there was a loud noise from outside. Completely wasted, Lejin stumbled to the door and opened it, just in time to see a man dash out of the apartment across the hall. Curious, he walked into the place. And there she was. A woman, dead. The room was in chaos. Things broken, blood everywhere, and that woman was Janggu's fiancée, high out of his mind. Lejin had no idea what was happening. In shock, he even picked up the murder weapon. Bad move. That's when the police stormed in. And he was arrested on the spot. 7 years in jail. All for a murder he didn't commit. Limin, now filled with fresh determination, makes a decision. She's going to prove her brother's innocence. She will clear his name and find the real killer, because the truth is out there. And it's ugly. Limin first asked her senior officer for the details of Janggu's car accident, but the senior brushed her off like a pesky mosquito, refusing to give any information and saying, "Why are you digging up an old case?" Geez, someone's hiding skeletons in their closet. Now here's the kicker. Junggu's accident and his friend's murder happened on the same day. Coincidence? Nah, this is drama. We don't believe in coincidences here. Meanwhile, when the CCTV video of the attacker was closely examined, it was discovered, face match confirmed, that it wasn't Layson. It was someone else entirely. And just like that, the cloud of suspicion over Leeson vanished. Limin is relieved, and Leeson walks away, finally free, saying with determination, "One day I will find the real killer. Let's go." Redemption arc loading. Later one evening during a hospital party. Because yes, hospitals have parties now. An employee gets a little too cozy with his drink and starts talking. He brings up an incident from 7 years ago. Sanggu once saved a boy's life, the boy's sister. She later joined the same hospital as a nurse. Now that's a full circle moment if there ever was one. They find the nurse, and she recalls, "After treating my brother, you were in a big hurry. You made a phone call and then, boom, you got into an accident right outside." Jenggu's eyes go wide. What? He's baffled. His mom had told him he had an accident, but this girl is saying he was actually saved, and he doesn't remember anything about who he spoke to on the phone. The accident wiped his memory clean. Junggu, now desperate to get to the truth, confronts his mom. "Who was I talking to that night?" he demands, but his mom, in classic drama mom fashion, scolds him like he just broke a vase. Forget the past and look ahead. Okay, thanks for the wisdom, Mom, but we're kinda in the middle of a murder mystery here. Angrily, Janggu storms off. Meanwhile, Leeson has started his own investigation. Out of nowhere, a memory hits him. He had found a watch at the crime scene, not just any watch either. This thing looked like it belonged on a CEO's wrist. He rushes home, digs through his things, and bam, there it is, the same watch. But here's the twist. He remembers seeing it with Junggu. Dun dun dun, Leeson's brain starts doing somersaults. Wait, did Junggu kill his wife? He even starts to remember seeing Junggu running from the house that night. The plot is thickening faster than hospital oatmeal. That same night, Limin visits her brother Leeson, only to find him lying on the ground, covered in blood. And who's there, right next to him? Junggu. Limin is shook. Her brother is bleeding out, and Junggu's just there like a suspicious statue. Leeson is rushed to the hospital, barely hanging on. Limin, overwhelmed with guilt, thinks, "I doubted my own brother. I thought he was the killer." But maybe it was Junggu all along. The police, seeing Junggu at the scene and knowing his history with Leeson, immediately suspect him and take him in for questioning. Junggu insists, When I got to license place, he was already hurt. Lucky for him, his lawyer shows up like a knight in shiny paperwork and gets him out on bail. But Lamine is not stopping now. She dives into full detective mode. She heads back to Leeson's place and finds an iron rod blood-stained, suspicious, and just sitting there like it wanted to be caught. Junggu had seen the same rod and kept it as evidence. He even matched it to CCTV footage. And guess what? The footage shows Limon's team leader, her own senior, visiting Leeson's house that night. What the actual plot twist? Limon grabs that team leader's toothbrush, EW, and sends it to forensics. When the report comes back, it confirms it. The blood on the rod matches his DNA. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Cut to the hospital where the team leader visits Leeson and looks like he's about to poop his pants. Why? Because he's worried Leeson might regain consciousness and spill the beans. Flashback to that night. Leeson had approached the team leader and said, "I've got proof of who the real killer is." And what does this guy do? He picks up a weapon and attacks Leeson, trying to shut him up. Real subtle, buddy. Now, even in the hospital, he's trying to finish what he started, but Junggu shows up just in time to stop him. He checks the team leader's hand and finds a cut, one he likely got while running away that night. This man really tried to commit murder and didn't even wear gloves. What is this Murder for Dummies, Chapter 1? The team leader tried to make a run for it, but Lejean was already waiting at the bottom. Like a surprise test on Monday morning, he caught him red-handed, and the questioning began. Finally cornered, the team leader spilled the beans. "My only mistake," he said, "was that when Lejean was arrested for Junggu's fiance's murder, I hid the real evidence." Hold up, only mistake? Bro, that's not a whoops, that's a felony. He went on, admitting that he faked evidence to quickly close the case and earn himself a promotion. "Oh, look at me. I solved a huge crime. I'm the hero." Except his version of heroism involved beating up Lejean and forcing a confession out of him. Wow. Great job, Officer Clouseau. Ever heard of ethics? But now he confessed. He was terrified that the truth would come out, that someone else committed the murder, and he'd lose everything. His job, his reputation, and maybe even his hairline. So what did this genius decide? "I thought I should just kill Lejean. That way, no proof, no shame." A plus logic. When in doubt, murder. Meanwhile, in the hospital, remember the girl from the beginning? The one whose father tragically fell and died? She's undergoing surgery now. Junggu and Dr. Park are the ones performing it, both wearing surgical masks. But as she looks at them closely, her eyes widen in terror. Oh, snap. She suddenly remembers. The person who attacked her wore a similar mask. The eyes. They were the same. Everything hits her like a lightning bolt. Dr. Park was the one who attacked her. Before she can scream it out loud, she's given another injection and loses consciousness mid-revelation. Talk about timing. When she regains consciousness, still pre-surgery, she's absolutely terrified. With shaking hands, she quickly sketches a large drawing of the killer's face in a notebook. Then, like she's on a live episode of America's Most Wanted, she starts scanning the faces of every doctor in the hospital, comparing them to her sketch. And then boom! She bolts. Dr. Park sees her on the run and calls out, "Where are you going?" "Wait." Nice try, Park. You can't yell wait. After trying to kill someone, that's not how any of this works. But the girl's already running like her life depends on it. Because, well, it kind of does. Dr. Park starts chasing after her, looking suspicious as hell. Junggu, watching all of this from a higher floor, starts piecing things together. Suddenly, we flash back to a 7-year-old memory. Dr. Park had visited Junggu's fiancé that night. They were arguing about what? We don't know. But it got physical. During the scuffle, she fell, hit her head, and collapsed. Park panicked. This dude freaked out harder than someone accidentally hitting reply all on a work email. Terrified she might die, he ran off like a coward. Hours later, the fiancé regained consciousness. Weak, bleeding, barely hanging on. She grabbed her phone and called Junggu, who was, at that exact moment, treating the nurse's brother in the hospital. Remember that? Yeah, full circle moment. Hearing her voice, Junggu rushed out. But just as she tried to tell him what happened, Dr. Park, who must have moonlighted as a phone snatcher, grabbed the phone and cut the call. We don't know what happened next. That secret's being saved for the final episode. Classic drama move. But here's what we do know. When Junggu got home, he was in such a rush he accidentally dropped his watch, which Leijin later found. That mix-up is what made Leijin suspect that Junggu was the murderer. Meanwhile, Dr. Park had been silently watching everything from the shadows, like some dollar store Batman. When Junggu noticed him and started putting 2 and 2 together, he was floored. My best friend? Dr. Park? He did all this? Rage boiled over and Junggu started chasing him, running blindly into traffic. And that's when he had the accident that caused his memory loss. But now? Now he remembers everything. Jang-gu sprints off, fueled by fury, determined to catch the real killer. Then he sees the sketch the girl had drawn. Sharp, detailed, unmistakable. And his suspicions are confirmed. The masked man who had been attacking and killing people, the man behind this entire twisted mess, was none other than Dr. Park. So, the boy's name? Min-young. Jang-gu leaves him in Lemon's care with a firm warning. Look after him, make sure nothing happens. And then, he storms off to go after Dr. Park. Meanwhile, Dr. Park is at his locker room, aka his little criminal cave. He's frantically packing up a stash of evidence, like a shady raccoon hiding shiny things, prepping it to flee the scene with everything he used in his crimes. And boom, we're hit with another flashback. Remember that angry dad from the start? The one who caused a scene at the hospital? Yep, Dr. Park was the one who calmed him down and got him into the car, promising, "We'll definitely help you, don't worry." Spoiler alert, when someone says don't worry in a thriller, you should absolutely worry. But turns out the dad had a short fuse and a loud mouth. He started yelling and hurling insults at Park. And oh boy, Park's fragile little ego couldn't take it. Because nothing screams mature adult like murdering someone because they hurt your feelings. That night, Park straight up murdered the man by throwing him off a building. As if that wasn't awful enough, his neighbors saw him fleeing the scene. So, like the creative little psychopath he is, Park blamed Jang-gu. He twisted the story, saying the man had committed suicide after being mistreated by Jang-gu. Fast forward, Jang-gu finally catches up to Park and confronts him. "You're the killer," he shouts. And then Park drops a truth bomb bigger than any before. He claims that Jang-gu's own mother didn't like Jang-gu's fiancé, and so she hired a hitman to get rid of her. Yeah, you heard right. Mom paid to delete the future daughter-in-law. When Dr. Park learned about this plan, he rushed to warn the fiancé that night. He begged her, "Come with me now or you'll die. If you stay and rely on Jang-gu, you're dead meat." But the fiancé didn't want to leave. A struggle broke out. She fell, and everything spiraled from there. Back in the present, Jang-gu rushes to the hospital. His mother is there, brutally injured, tied up by Dr. Park like it's a horror movie. Blood is dripping, and Park is about to kill her just to frame Jang-gu again. This man woke up and chose every form of evil. Like, calm down, Voldemort. But Jang-gu snaps. He grabs a pair of scissors and attacks Park, punching and stabbing as flashes of his fiancée flood his memory. He's done playing nice, Dr. Park. Realizing he's cornered with no escape, tries to end it all. He jams a knife into his own neck. Lemon arrives just then, but it's too late. Blood's everywhere. It's chaos. Luckily, because they're in a hospital. How convenient. Park survives thanks to immediate emergency care. Irony much. The murderer lives because of the system he abused. Sometime later, we see him behind bars. Jang-gu visits him in jail, carrying a photo of his fiancée taken just before her death. He says something that shakes the ground beneath Dr. Park's feet. She didn't die right away from the fall, Jang-gu reveals. Even with the head injury, she was alive for hours. In pain, suffering, she called for help. And then? You strangled her. She didn't die from the fall or the bleeding. She died when you took her breath away. But Dr. Park didn't stop there. No, this dude went full monster mode. After killing her, he stabbed her body with a knife just to make it look like a deranged lunatic had done it. This man didn't need a medical license. He needed a straight-up exorcism. Hearing all of this, Dr. Park finally cracks. He loses it completely. Emotionally, mentally. Everything shatters. Now the debate begins. Should he be kept in prison or sent to a psychiatric institution? Plot twist, maybe both. Let him rot and reflect. Justice finally begins to prevail. The court declares Lei Jin innocent, exposing that he never committed a crime, the real criminal. The team leader who had manipulated and forced Lei Jin into confessing just to climb the career ladder? Ah yes, the classic, let me ruin a man's life for a LinkedIn promotion. So the team leader? He's arrested too, and not a moment too soon. So Jang-gu visits the memorial of his friend. It's a quiet, emotional moment. Until, wait a second, he sees her there. Yeah, the girl who's been coming to this same spot for 7 years. When Jang-gu asks her why, she explains, "I've been visiting ever since I found out. My brother killed the woman this place honors." Whew, okay. Talk about awkward family reunions. But thankfully, there's a silver lining. Legion is no longer in trouble. And over time, this girl and Jang-gu have grown close. They've become good friends. And she's even teaching him how to laugh again. Because let's be real. Jang-gu used to have the emotional range of a malfunctioning toaster. Back in the day, his whole vibe was grumpy robot with trauma issues. But now, he's actually smiling. Oh, and remember his mom? Yeah, she pieced out earlier, left the house, no explanations, just vanished like she was late for a K-drama plot twist. Meanwhile, the hospital where all this chaos happened decided to implement a new policy. Now, when performing plastic surgery, they won't just focus on looks. Instead, they'll also dive deep into the patient's emotional state, what pain they're carrying inside, how they're really feeling. Finally, a makeover for the soul, not just the selfie. Lemon and his partner get promoted to manage this compassionate new approach. About time someone responsible got a win. Then comes the most Gen Z moment of the story. A girl walks into the hospital wanting plastic surgery. Why? Because she has a crush on some dude she met online. He asked to meet her in person, but there's a catch. All the pics she posted online? Yeah, 100% filtered. She looks like an Instagram goddess in them, but in real life, not quite the same. So now she wants surgery to look like her filter? Girl, what in the Snapchat sorcery is this? Zhang Gu, who, mind you, used to kick patients out like he was allergic to emotions, now calmly listens. Instead of turning her away, he says, "Okay, let's see what we can do. Growth, actual growth, applause." In the final scene, we see Limin and Zhang Gu at an art exhibition, but not just any exhibition. It's hosted by the same transgender person who used to manage the cafe and dreamed of becoming a woman. And guess what? She did it. She made it. The exhibit is powerful, beautiful, real, and both Janggu and Limin are genuinely moved. They start to really connect and like each other. And then, hold up, the biggest plot twist of all, Janggu smiles and flirts. This man, who spent 95% of the drama looking like he'd rather be stuck in traffic with food poisoning, is now giving hard eyes to someone. And if that wasn't enough, in the final 1-minute wrap-up, the camera pans and boom, Janggu is seen straight up making out with the policewoman. Sir, what happened to the sad, emotionally frozen zombie version of you? Now you're out here giving K-drama heartthrob energy like it's your side hustle. And just like that, the drama ends with surprises, growth, a little love, and finally, some well-deserved peace.